What is up, everyone? Circflex here, bringing you guys day 9 of the Advent calendar, and which is also the day where we have the in-game bonuses going on. So, if you were looking to, if you were waiting on that patch, today is the day. At least for EU. I think RU might have had it yesterday. NA, I think it's today as well, maybe Thursday. But yeah, there you go. And today's Advent calendar is the Guard, or the STG. Basically the same thing, but the guard has the it's like the old school way of doing the camos, where a different camouflage was a different tank designation, but basically. So if you're gonna purchase this with gold, it's gonna set you back as 9,000. For the STG garage lot crew, minus 15%. Yeah, there's that. Then if you're gonna buy it with the real monies, the real currencies, it's gonna set you back. Let's see. So it's gonna be 27.59. Now this is my country. Yours might be slightly different, especially if you have a different coin. Or 51 bucks, or 20, almost 28, 27 and a half. So the STG Guard, what is it about? So it's a rear-mounted tank, rear turret mounted tank. Okay, it's these. In case you forgot how it looks like, because you probably don't see a lot of these in game. And what's to think about it is a 390 alpha gun on a tier 8 medium. Now here you say, wow, that sounds pretty good. And yeah, that is pretty good. But DPM is quite low. And the aim time is a little bit long for medium. Dispersion though, really good. Starting at 32 without any buffs to it is really good, especially on the medium and especially with 390 alpha. The downside here is that it's only 880 shell velocity, which for me is slow. Maybe you guys don't mind it as much, but anything that starts with an 8 shell velocity or lower is not up to my jam, you know. It is AP. It is 212 pen, which is average on tier 8 mediums, I'd say. It also gets APCR, which kind of gets rid of the whole shell velocity debacle. And the pen then goes up to 248. And then the HE is 61 pen. Because it's a 390 alpha gun and it's Russian, it goes up to 530 damage. On average. Quite good, actually. If you can find some good targets to shoot that at. Now, the downside, of course, being a rear-mounted turret, is the gun depression is lower. It is actually 6 degrees. And somehow, it's all around 6 degrees, which always surprised me, even frontally. You wouldn't think it, but there you go. It goes right where this little dent in the hull is. So 6 degrees is actually pretty manageable, and it also has some turret armor going for it. As you can see, not a lot, but you will bounce every once in a while. Don't rely on it, right? The hull is also pretty cheesy. With it being a back-mounted turret, you can kind of side scrape these things, but the side armor is only 45, so you will get overmatched. You have to be super careful. It's still your best bet if you have to do it. You know, if you have to peek someone, it's still obviously your best bet, making yourself smallest target possible. Maybe it hits your tracks only, etc. 1350 health is also somewhere in the middle. And yeah, 50 top speed, 20 reverse, 40 pound weight. It's like all pretty average. Top speed is a little bit on the high side, perhaps. 370 free range, not that great. Crew is good. This is the exact same crew layout in like a million other mediums. The tier 9s, the 10s, the rear mounted ones in the tech tree, the front mounted turrets, all of them have the same crew layout. So that's also good. Fully buffed up, I would definitely go with optics. First have some rammers. I know, kind of boring, but because of the 370, you're gonna want that at least the optics, and then you always want to have these two, right? It's just the way it is. This brings it down to a really healthy 0.3 dispersion. That's really good. I often forget how good of an actual sniper this thing actually is. And 2.24 aim time. This is fully buffed up. That is actually kind of on the long side for having this many buffs, okay? So the gun will still feel a little bit derpy because sometimes you spend a lot of time aiming And then if you use a lot of the AP ammo with 212 pen, you will bounce a lot these days with 212 pen at tier 8, unfortunately. So you kind of relegate it to the APCR. But we also got to remember, it's Russian. There's a million other medium things. And would I prefer playing this over some of the other tier 8 Russian premium mediums? And the answer to that is hell no. I would much rather play these other tanks. The only like maybe somewhat hot debate you could have is between the 27A and the guard, which is kind of awkward because I think like, oh, 27A wins that easily. But the more I think about it, the way like the 27A pretends to have armor, the guard pretends to have armor. The guard is actually more accurate and higher alpha, but it also has less base pen. It's actually kind of a toss-up. And yeah, some people say like, oh, but 27A turret is crazy good, yada yada. Yeah, but have you actually played it? Because -5 gun depression means you're not going to use the turret armor quite a lot. And even the upper hull is not as troll as it wants to be, which is kind of interesting. But I would 100% rather play the good old T44-100, and probably even the mod 1 over the guard. And that's also just down to my playstyle, but I also just think they're better. Like having 1.92 base aim time is crazy good. Okay, I'd rather have this good of a aim time and a bit worse dispersion, which is still isn't even that bad. 7 degrees of gun depression as well. Those turrets are not bad anymore. The mod 1 upper plate is like a T54 upper plate. Yeah, if you already have one of these three, I would never recommend the guard. If you don't have a single Russian medium premium yet, I mean, T-85M is still, you know, still there for crew training. But otherwise, it's so hard to recommend this one because I just feel like the other ones are just better, even for, you know, unless you, I guess if you really like your 390 Alpha, you really like the snipe, I guess. But I'd say competitive standpoint, T4100 and mod 1 all day, every day. And I think even the 274A also still just better, I think, in the grand scheme of things. The guard's not a bad tank, but it's Russian, so there's like a million other options. That's kind of the thing here. So yeah, that was day 9 already. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 10. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Hopefully you guys appreciate these little videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.